Hello everyone, my name is Antasil and today we'll be playing as China, regular China with Chiang Kai-shek in charge, and we'll play it on Iron Man with historical focuses. Now usually, in all the old guides with before No Step Back, the way to go with regular China was to rush, subjugate the warlords, this focus here, go to war with the warlords and annex some of them depending on the RNG, then get a war goal on Communist China and capitulate them all in time for Japan to come knocking. Well, I've decided to do things a little differently in this game, and here's why. Supply in China is terrible, and while it is possible to take out the warlords and Communist China before July 1937, I have not been able to do it in every one of my test runs. It's very painful to maneuver through red supply areas. The AI guards its victory points much better than it used to, and I just think it's a fickle way to go about it. So I thought, let's do the other way around. It seems weaker to go the united front, but hey, the AI always does it, and well, it does sometimes work for them. So that's what we'll do. We'll take the united front, join up with all the other Chinas, take on Japan first, and then deal with the warlords and Communist China. The last part can be done easily with the One China policy, which will let you leave the faction that you have created and then have a war goal on all of the members of the faction. You only need to take out the major then, get war score against the rest, and you will annex everything in one go. In this game it will become Guangxi clique, of course. It's not that terrible to capitulate them, and eventually we'll finish it all off. Japan is the remaining challenge. Now I'm recording this after I played the entire game, and you'll see me go for submarines to naval invade Japan. That can work, but only if the United States is also in the war, because the low-level submarines just don't cut it against whatever the Japanese have. They have a huge fleet, and you're going to take years to get there. What will work, and what has worked for me, is to use paratroopers. If you've killed enough Japanese troops, the ports may be unguarded and you will be able to ferry your troops across. You'll see me do that in this game. Alright, let's switch to that game and start the setup. Enjoy! Now, we don't have to go for this one right away. We can go for Unified Industrial Planning first and get the extra research slot now that we are at peace and not going to war anytime soon. And then we'll form the United Front. In terms of production, I'd like to switch to the better guns right away and get machine tools. There's a big wish list here. We are desperate in need of more tech, like trucks and well, we have trains, better artillery. We have no air force to speak of, the electronics branch, and all of the industry, of course. So we'll just keep up with that. Not fighting the warlords means we'll lack in experience, so we'll have to find a way around that. And well, let's start with building a civilian factory and a few forts along the border here with Japan and its puppets. I'll start with 2 forts each, probably expand the one in Beijing, but I want some heavy fighting to go along to happen here, just to get some experience. Set this one all to guns. Oh no, wait, I won't. I set 2 to artillery, and I'll delete the fighters for now. This is crap stuff anyway, and switch to convoys. Now we have an army here. Normally I'd rearrange it to deal with Commie China and the rest, but this time I'll just split off the forces and set up some defenses for Japan. What's the plan against Japan? We need to guard this border here, obviously. Then there's this area here. Japan usually naval invades here, so I'm going to set up defensive positions here on this line, so they will be allowed in. We'll have some heavy fighting here. Maybe I'll actually be able to destroy their units, but at least this I can control and then grind more experience. We'll do the same around here. We'll allow invasions on the Shanghai Peninsula, keep our capital if we can, and we'll do the same here. Unified industrial planning is done, and we'll go for the research slot. Machine tools is done, and we have those research bonuses. I'll just go for machine tools 2. New guns are done. Probably, I really don't want to do this, but I'll just go for construction. That's the slowest one anyway. Switch to guns immediately. And we'll go from free principles of the people. A new research slot can go to trucks. First 150 political power, and we'll use it to get the silent workhorse. Free principles of the people is done, and we'll go for nationalism. Forts are done. I do think we can benefit by having one extra level on all of them, and then one or two more on Beijing itself. With the next 100 political power, I'm getting the infantry expert. I also switched out all my reserve templates, and I'm going to exercise them now. And I'm going to start exercising an extra army of cavalry. Put all of the air force near Beijing. We'll exercise what we have. Nationalism is done. We are a bit early to go for United Front. We have room for one more focus. I'll go for Military Affairs Commission because it gives daily experience. Now it would be ideal to make the best template, but well, we are seriously lacking experience and we need to do those army reform decisions. So what we'll do is take this template, the 12 width, it'll do for now, and give them support artillery for some extra bite. It'll have to do against what Japan has in the early game. Trucks have arrived and we do need a few of those, so I'll just set 2 factories to trucks. Once the forts are done, we'll switch to military factories. Military Affairs Commission is done, and we'll go for foreign threats. 200 PP, and we'll get Li Zongren. Foreign threats are done, and we'll form the Chinese United Front. Let's also research support equipment. Let's see. United Front is done. Well, we can do focus, pick a fight with Japan, but I can pretty certain they'll do that for me. There's still a few interesting options here. We can go, of course, for Bureau of Statistics, for the accessibility, army reform decisions, but we don't have nearly enough experience to do anything with it. I'll go for foreign investors just to get the extra factories, and then we'll see. Once you click joins, that's good. Pretty much everyone joins. Here's the Marco Polo Bridge incident. We have reached the breaking point. We're not going to... oh, here we are already. Pick a fight with Japan is bypassed. Foreign investors are done. Let's have a look here. War of Resistance is nice, but we need to get rid of army corruption first, and that's going to take pretty much forever. I'll do army reform now. Hopefully experience will start streaming in. I set the Air Force to intercept and close air support and logistics strike. We hardly have an Air Force, but this will be making the best of it. We can go for total mobilization, but this will really eat into our manpower, and that will force us to actually also go to a higher conscription law. Still, if any country is worth doing this, it's Nationalist China. So let's just go with total mobilization. And watch those factories flow in. Now, they don't seem to be attacking here. Maybe I did actually build too many forts. But, well, they'll get there. No naval invasions yet, and they're attacking Shaanxi. Lovely thing about Chiang Kai-shek is, of course, that you get a stability boost when in a defensive war. Sadly all the warlords are now joining. I had hoped to keep Guangxi clique out. And hopefully these guys can hold. Here comes the first naval invasion, I think. They're actually landing on the port. Well, I don't really want them over there, so I'll just try to kick out these guys. Blinked my eyes for a moment and we lost Tianjin. How did that happen? Did all those troops I evacuated come from over there? And as predicted, Japan is now very strong here. I'll try to kick them off these two tiles. My theory is that they will funnel troops in on the few pieces they do possess. That's army reform. We'll go for democracy now. Democracy gives political power and executive yuan gives extra political power. And those are quite useful, so let's see if we can make that work. I also could use some extra stability, so I'm going to sacrifice some production and go for improved worker conditions. Once I have 70% stability, I'll be able to take women in the workforce. I'm not lacking manpower just yet, but it will happen. And here comes the next naval invasion. As planned, they will land here at Qingdao. We have some army experience and we'll go for army reform right away. That's democracy for you, and we'll go for executive yuan for more political power. Tempted to go for limited conscription, maybe that will solve my manpower issues already. And I got the encirclement I wish for here. And whenever I feel able, I will try to close these pockets and kill some Japanese troops in the process. And then withdraw for a new naval invasion. The idea is, and I call this the feedback gaming doctrine, to allow Japanese troops on the mainland, kill them on the mainland, and then Japan will be less guarded when we inevitably attack them on their home islands. Anyway, here's executive yuan. I'll go over the extra stability here. Meanwhile, build more military factories. And let's see if we can take back Beijing. We can take women in the workforce and see if we can manage that excessive manpower shortage. We took Shanghai, that means we encircled quite a few troops here. Oops, that's a big one. Well, let them stream in and this army can take care of them. Pro tip, Japan, don't leave the port that you came with. And there's another army reform. Burma Road, thank you. We got some extra stability and we'll now go for War of Resistance. Extra defense on core territory. And this is another pocket. Hey you guys, looks like you're really attritioning in there. That's not good for your health. Oof, this is a mess. How are we doing over here? Not too well. But they left Qingdao open and they are open to encirclement here. And this encirclement here is done. I'll go for submarine one. I've decided I'll go for a naval invasion. And this encirclement is done as well. I got Beijing back. So I'll put these guys back in the position where they came from. I'll mop this up here with the reserve army here. War of Resistance is done, but right now I just want to go for the mission to the US and start building my fleets and get rid of the free trade stuff that I still have. I will expand this, this is probably fine for all the other troops. I will duplicate it, give it a scary icon, make them elite, and start turning this into a 7-2. and also give them cavalry recon. This will bite a bit into my experience, but we need the better troops here, so I'll just convert all of these guys. We don't have the stuff for it, but it'll be fine. War of National Liberation, 15% division attack on core territory. Yes, I'll take that. Now, to tell you the truth, this all looks very messy, but you know, all of these Japanese divisions are getting encircled and destroyed. If you look at the division casualties here, Japan is suffering hundreds of thousands of casualties. So am I, but it's just because my divisions are crap. I'm only losing a few to encirclement, and well, bluntly said, I can afford it. So could Japan for now, but well, we're bleeding them dry. War of National Liberation is done. We'll go for the dockyards next. Need a few more factories for this. Probably out of range for now. Dockyards, gimme, gimme, gimme. Let's do another army reform. Well, I got rid of army corruption. I still need lessons of war. I need 200 experience for that. We can probably easily just encircle this entire bit here. Let's get the motorized up here and do just that. This looks, well, you know, too easy. Whenever we do get around to invading Japan, I doubt there will be many troops left there. Meanwhile, we're done with the American tree here and we can renegotiate the unequal treaties. Let's see if we can get Busan here. Oops. They got reinforced. Kill, kill, kill. We got the ports. Well, 14% naval invasion supremacy. That's not going to cut it. We will only be satisfied with total victory. In short, I think I can safely say that building sub-1s is not a good way to get naval supremacy. I've got almost 100 of them and I'm not going up in naval supremacy at all. It's a failed experiment. I'm building transports and fighters and researching paratroopers as we speak. And I don't have any air superiority over Korea. That makes sense. Oh, I actually did drop here. Well, let's go for that one China policy then. Oh no, wait, I'll drop out of it. I actually managed to get there. Wow. Get that port, please. Get that airfield. You stay here. And you ship over there. I'll get back to that later. Now I'm going for one China policy. Here we go. Well, that's the treaty with Japan. And I have war goals. Losing big time to Communist China. Well, is that enough? No, it is. Whoa, bless me. And we have a beautiful China. Time for an evaluation. I went into this video trying to play as China with the Chinese United Front and with some ideas on how to play it, and most of the ideas came through. I'll probably re-record the start of it so I can make it a sensible video. A few things went wrong though. I went for a naval invasion of the Japanese home islands with sub-1s, and I never got them to work. Very frustrating. It cost me about half a year of delays to research paratroopers. I got lucky with the paratroopers because I did not have aerial supremacy. I didn't have much of an air force, but some paratroopers got through and I got Hiroshima. You're probably better off aiming for that from the start. What did work was actually encircling all those divisions here on the coastline. I killed a million troops like that, which meant that by the time my poorly equipped paratroopers finally landed here, I mean these are just 6 whiffs, they were pretty much unopposed. I never had much problems here, except of course on the Nagasaki island, what's it called, Kyushu, where a few units were able to really massacre mine. Yeah, that was very sad, but there wasn't much in Japan to defend. Anyway, another thing that also went very good was the One China policy. One thing I don't like about subjugated warlords is the randomness of which warlords submit or not. I don't like restarting a game because things didn't go right. So I kind of like this method. How to continue? There's some focuses left to get Tibet and Mongolia. Mongolia will get us into a war with the Soviet Union, and that will, well, we can crush them together with the Axis. To do that, you'll be forced to build many supply hubs along the border. They're not here right now, and as soon as you place troops here, whatever kind of troops, this will become red. So that's a given. Luckily, I've been building civilian factories. I can actually do something like that. It's also important to lower the autonomy of Japan to get more industrial capacity. They're now just a colony and you want an integrated puppet. Let's first... Well, there is a supply hub here. And we need one here. And we need one here. This seems overkill, but this is the route to advance into Moscow. We need, well, this looks alright, so one here. That should be enough for Mongolia. We need one here, conveniently located on the edge of a railroad, and we'll build one here. And I'd like one here, but this is a supply hub, so I'll gamble on it to use the supplies from Vladivostok to actually make it there. Now we need some railroads to get there. These are fine. All right. Tibet Defiant. I've never seen them accept this. It's probably because of historical focuses. Doesn't matter. Here we go. Declare war on Tibet. That's Tibet, and we will just annex it. Renounce McMahon line is done. We'll go for demand Mongolia. I have a war goal against Mongolia. Let's go. Doesn't look like the Soviets are going to protect anyone here. I'll just cause some world tension, who cares. Mongolia has just been given up by the Soviets. Disgraceful. There's justification of the Soviets, and we'll just go for it with battle lines. Just look at this, you're advancing into the desert. If you want to keep advancing, I advise you to build extra supply hubs well into these territories and link them up with fresh railroads. Time for an update. We're advancing nicely into the eastern part of the Soviet Union. That's because I'm building supply hubs along the way. That takes a long time. I actually cut that out from the video. Well, I took Stalingrad and I took Baku. Soviets are at 97% capitulation. And here we are. Soviet Union is dead. Well, that's a chunky China, and we have a Russian puppet that we can annex, and then get an even bigger China. Now I want to use the momentum to join up with the Allies, so I'll just justify a war goal now and get it started. Legislative U1 is done. It's the path to democracy. Well, you know, it's just for fun. Justification is done. Declare war. Now this is China. The secondary army has finished cleaning up the Baltics here. I have to beat the Dutch to Berlin. Grand Chinese battle plan. And there is Berlin. China has prevailed. That's not too bad, a peace deal. I puppeted most of Germany and Italy and Greater Hungary. Oh, here we are. The United Kingdom wants us to join their faction. China joined allies, and can we take over now? We need more political power. And we need about 1 million more troops. That part I can handle. Oh yes, here we have the magic button. Assume faction leadership of allies. Ah yes. And here we are. The Republic of China. Well, that's it for now. I'm calling this game done. I have the biggest Republic of China I've created in decades. Hope you enjoyed this video. Learned a thing or two maybe. And comment, like, subscribe of course. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.